This is a companion piece to my earlier item about the Adopt a Grant program. While the grant program was about government using taxpayers' cash to buy votes, this one's about government using taxpayers' money to buy its way out of a jam. As I did with the Adopt a Grant program, I think we need some way to help Canadians to more clearly understand what goes on when somebody sues the government. It's easy to see where the money's going, but where's the money actually coming from? When somebody sues the government, in reality, they're suing the taxpayer. I don't know about you, but I thought our taxes were all going to help underprivileged kids, seniors, the disabled, and high-priority programs and services, not to help government, politicians, get themselves out of trouble. A little backgrounder. Right now, individual Canadians can't sue foreign governments for awful things such as torture or terrorism, because the State Immunity Act adopted by Parliament in 1982 doesn't allow it. But suing your own government? Actually, until fairly recently, you couldn't do that either. But since lawyers, and so many of our politicians who are lawyers, are having their way with us these days, and being a country that operates under the rule of law, as they say, things have changed. Have a car crash in the fog or on a slippery road? Sue the government. You've invested in a company and the board of directors foolishly or neglectfully loses your money? Sue the company and sue the government. A class action lawsuit was even launched against government when a bunch of cottagers got bitten by mosquitoes. Forget about buying a lottery ticket. Trip over your own shadow in a publicly owned parking lot, and financial freedom is yours. And it's getting easier and easier. There have been recent improvements in how law firms can collect fees as a share of class action awards. It's inviting ambulance-chasing lawyers, just like we see down in the States. I'm just worried that we're going to run out of money paying for all these lawsuits. It's like a grand multi-level marketing scheme. Get in quick while there's still lots of money and before your fellow taxpayers figure it out. And before some government cracks down. Eventually they'll have to, given the rising awards and legal costs. Actually, I was thinking, if the legal community wants to feed off the public trough like this, maybe we should pay them as we do our hard-working doctors. What do you think they'd feel about government-mandated fixed fee structure? Certainly some controls are inevitable, be they award limits, tort reform, compensatory damages, but no punitive damages, and so on. The taxpayers' pockets are only so deep. But in the meantime, we have to pay for these lawsuits. So, as with my Adopt a Grant program, I'd like to suggest that all Canadians select a lawsuit that the government has faced or is facing, and that we each generously volunteer to sponsor or adopt the funding of that lawsuit. Then we might really understand how much money is involved. Thus, I propose to you the Adopt a Lawsuit program. Pick a past or present lawsuit and call it your own. How many years will you have to work to pay for it? These lawsuits are limited only by the imagination of aggrieved parties and their lawyers, and by politicians in the Department of Spending, who are only too eager to use the Taxpayers' Bank of Canada to pay off their sins. So, adopt that lawsuit. You have a wide selection from which to choose. Here's mine. I am adopting the Mahar lawsuit. From my taxes, I will singularly pay off Mr. Arar's $10 million+ settlement. Now, I may be biting off more of a lawsuit than I can chew, but I'm ambitious. In the Adopt a Lawsuit program, you have to have a grand vision or it's hardly worth it. But how to pay for this enormous tax burden which I've independently assumed? Wait a minute. If the world of government, spending, and priorities can be such an unreal virtual fantasy world, why can't I be the same in dealing with my adopted lawsuit? I have 3 Siamese cats. And then I turn the page and read. Not always intentionally, they've made it into a few of my videos in cameo roles. My cats are guard cats. Here you see them protecting me from an evil invader at the rear entrance to my house. They're also effective sentinels against burglars, home invaders, and subscription salesmen, not to mention spider infestations. I have noticed they're utterly ineffectual against political candidates knocking at my door. They actually run away and hide under and behind various furniture articles. Can't find them for hours afterwards. On the other hand, they more than tolerate those latter-day guys, you know, the ones, I guess because they come to the door and they speak in such soothing tones, handing out their little magazines. Anyway, looking at my cats, each of them have 9 lives, right? So what if I had 9 lives like the 3 of them? In those 27 working lives, I might conceivably be able to pay enough taxes to cover that lawsuit brought by Maharar. You know, that makes me feel good. I feel so fortunate that I was born into this world, along with my many reincarnated, regurgitated selves, to serve this one exemplary purpose. Mommy, I am valuable! The concept of the Adopt a Lawsuit program is just like any other government spending measure. You might want to consider it next time and every time politicians come knocking at your door soliciting your vote.